Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Aman Roy. I hope you will be happy and healthy. In previous video, I am described about introduction to DBMS and database system concepts and architecture. If you don't watch my previous video, kindly go in description of this video. But today I am talking about data modeling using ER model. We have already discussed in previous video that a data model is a mechanism that provides the abstraction for database application so that the superfluous details are kept hidden from the application in hand. A data model plays an important role in database design. In other words, we can say that a data model is a collection of conceptual tools that describes data relationships, data semantic and data constraints, and thus the unnecessary details of data are hidden from user and application both. Let's start and let's go to the presentation of data modeling using your model. Data modeling using your model. First of all, we need to know what is data model classifications. All data models are abstract, self-contained, keep logical definition of object, operators, etc. and constitute an abstract machine for interaction with user. The data model is differ in data association method only, and based on it they are classified as file-based system or primitive models, traditional data models, semantic data models. First, file-based systems. The very initial data models which were developed with the concept of conventional file system are classified as file-based system. They are more associated with storage access method of data. To use these systems, the user must know the exact location of data items in a record. Also, the file-based system do not fulfill all requirements to be a DBMS, and that is why they are called file-based system. Second, traditional data models. The data models which are used to describe the data at the logical and view levels and are most commonly used fall under the category of traditional data models. These are three traditional data models named. Relational model. It is uses on collection of tables to represent both data and the relationship among the data. Hierarchical model. It is used on views the links as pointer and the records in a database are organized as a collection of arbitrary graphs. Hierarchical model. It is very similar to network model because it also relies on links to represent the relationship among data, but it is organized the record as a collection of tree. I hope you will understand. Semantic data models. The data models which consider semantic at the time of operation on data, and thus data is characterized within the constraint of rules and regulations set by the DBMS are called semantic data models. The semantic data models were influenced by the semantic network developed by artificial intelligence research to organize and represent general knowledge. Let's go to the next presentation. The ER model in introduction. An entity relationships ER model was introduced by P.P. Chan in 1976. An ER model is defined as a conceptual data model that views the real world as entities and relationships. An ER model is useful to a database designer in the following ways. An ER model maps well to the relational model. An ER model can be used by the database designer to communicate the design to end user. An ER model can be used as a design plan by the database developer to implement a data model in specific DBMS software. Basic terminology related to ER model. Before we go further, let us discuss some basic terminologies related to ER model. First, entities. Anything which exists and is distinguishable from one another is known as an entity. For example, employee, table, chalkboard, etc. Please note that an entity is analogous to a table in the relational model. Entity type. Entity type can be classified as a set of entities that the same attributes. Entity is represented by a rectangle in ER diagram. For example, employee entity can be represented as name as salary and employee. Two types of entities are weak entity type. An entity that has no key attribute is called weak entity type. It is also called child or subroutine entity type, represented by as you can see in this peak. Only dependent, name, sex, age. Second, strong entity type. An entity type that have key attribute is called strong entity type. For example in following figure, employee is strong entity, EMP number, name, salary and employer. Third, relationship. A data relationship is a natural association that exists between one or more entities. Example, employee process payments. Degree of a relationship. It is defined as the number of entities associated with the relationship. There are three types of degree of relationship: unary or recursive relationship, binary relationship, ternary relationship. Next presentation. For example, consider a recursive binary relationship. Manage that relates an entity employed to another employee by management. That is, as you can see in this figure, employee, managed and manager. Recursive relationship. Binary relationship are the association between two entities. So its degree, for example, a binary relationship shown in figure. Workers works on a project, a binary relationship. Ternary relationship is defined as an association among three entities and is used when binary relationship is not sufficient. For example, skill, student and course and usage. A ternary relationship. Three entities are connected with a diamond relationship named uses. We can designate the connectivity of entities as either one or many. As you can see, coordinative ratio. The coordinative ratio is specifically the number of relationship intents that an entity can participate in. Ratio types 1 to 1. Only one relationship ensures that the entities can participate. As you can see in this figure, department have HOD and electrical, CSE, mechanical. All faculty are controlled by HOD, as you can see and as you understand. One to many. One instance of an entity participate in relationship with many instances of another entity. As you can see, a teacher can teach several subjects. There can be several books for a subject, and a teacher teaches many students. I hope you will understand. Many to one. If more than one entity form an entity set in relationship with one entity from another entity set and one. As you can see, many employees works as a single project. Sorry for mistake guys. And 4. If many entities of an entity set in relation with many entities of another entity set. As you can see, many teachers teach many subjects and many employee works on many projects. I hope you will understand. Go to next presentation. Participant constant. The participant constant is specific whether the extents of an entity depend on its being related to another entity via the relationship type. There are two types of participant constant, total and partial, which we illustrate by example. Types of participant constant. Total participant. In this case, every entity in entity set must be depend on another entity, also called as extens dependency. It is denoted by double line connecting the participating entity type to the relationship. Every employee must work for a department. As you can see in this speak, employee works for department. Partial participation. In this case, some entities in entity set are dependent upon another entity. Not all employee manage a department. As you can see, employee manage department. 6. Attributes. Relationship types can also have attributes similar to those of entity types. Attributes define the properties of a data object of entity. The collection of all possible values that an attribute can have is known as the domain of attribute. Go to the next previous function. We shall now classify these attributes. Attributes have 5 types: simple or atomic. A simple or atomic attribute is defined as an attribute that is composed of a single component with an independent extents. For example, age, salary, person ID, etc. And second, composite. A composite attribute is defined as an attribute composed of multiple components with an independent extent. For example, first name, middle name, and last name. And third, single valued. It is defined as an attribute that holds a single value for a single entity. The majority of attributes are single value for a particular entity. For example, roll number is a single valued attribute. Fourth, multi-valued. It is defined as an attribute that holds multiple values for a single entity. For example, for a student entity, if one of the attributes is hobby, and then hobby can have multiple values like reading, dancing, reading, gardening, and so on. Fifth, derived attributes. It is defined as an attribute that represents a value that is derived from the value of related attributes or a set of attributes. For example, the age attribute can be derived from the date of birth attribute, and so they are related. As you can see, notations used in ER diagram. Let us draw a table and show the various notation used in drawing of an ER diagram. As you can see, entity type, weak entity, relationship, identifying relationship type, attributes, primary key attribute, multi-valued attribute, composite attribute. From the table, it is clear that entities are represented by a label rectangle, where label is the name of the entity. Attributes are represented by ellipse. Relationships are represented by diamonds. Primary key attributes are underlined. As you can see, multi-valued attributes are represented by double ellipse, and direct line represent are occurred while an indirect line represent many occurrence in a relation. Key attribute. A key allows us to identify a set of attributes that distinguish entities from each other. Key also help unique identify relationship and thus distinguish relationships from each other. Primary key. A primary key is a set of one or more attributes that can uniquely identify within the relation. In such cases where the primary key consists of more than one attribute, it is called composite primary key. The primary key is non-redundant. Second, candidate key. All attribute combinations inside a relation that can serve as a primary key are candidate key, as they are candidate for the primary key position. For example, customer name, social security number, customer address, and customer city. These 4 attributes an entity customer and is organized as in this table. As you can see, we have to specify how entities with a given entity set and relationship within a given relationship set are defined as. Super key. A super key is a set of one or more attributes that taken collectively allows us to identify uniquely in the entity set. Alternate key. A candidate key that is not the primary key is called an alternate key. Forizon key. A non-key attribute whose values are derived from the primary key of some other table is known as forizon key in its table. Domain of attribute. Each attribute is associated with a set of values called domain of that attribute. For example, for the attribute age, domain can be 1 to 100. Similar for the attribute day, the domain can be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday or etc. Mapping constant. The constant on how many number of entities of first entity set can be associated to which number of entities of another entity set is known as mapping constant. Various mapping constants are 1 to 1, many to 1, 1 to many and many to many. 1 to 1. If an entity in entity set X is associated with at most one entity in set Y, an entity in Y is associated with at most one entity in X, then the relationship known as 1 to 1 relationship. As you can see in this figure, this is X and this is Y. Here diagram showing 1 to 1 mapping. Teacher's name, address, HOD and department name, as you can see in this figure. Many to 1. If an entity is the set X is associated with at most one entity in set Y, and an entity in set Y is however associated with any number of entities in set X, then such a relationship known as many to one relationship, as you can see in this figure. Teacher name, address, then code name and department. Here diagram for many to one relationship. But one teacher can not be associated with more than one department, thus it is a many to one relationship, as you can see in this figure. One to many relationship. If any entity in set X is associated with any number of entities in set Y, and an entity in set Y is however associated with at most one entity in set X, then we say that there is one to many relationship between X and Y. It shows the logic of one to many relationship, as you can see in this figure. A teacher can have many subjects, but if we assume that a subject will be taught by one teacher only, that it will be a one to many relationship, as you can see in this figure. Many to many. If an entity in set X is associated with any number of entities in set Y, and an entity in set Y is associated with any number of entities in set X, then it makes a many to many relationship. As you can see, which in a college there are many teachers who teach same subject, and also one teacher can taught many subjects. Then the problem has two entities set, teacher and subject. There is a many to many relationship between both of them, as you can see in this diagram. Database design with ER model. For designing any database, we need to proceed with proper analysis and decisions about the problem. The step-by-step methodology is given below. Identify entities. Identify the roles, events, location, tangible things or concept about which the end user want to store data. Find relationship. Find the natural association between pairs of entities using a relationship matrix. Draw rough ERD. Put entities in rectangle and relationship on line segment connecting the entities. Fill in coordinately. Determine the number of occurrence of one entity for a single occurrence of the related entity. Define primary key. Identify the data attributes that uniquely identify one and only one occurrence of each entity. Draw key-based ERD. Eliminate many-to-many relationship and include primary and forizon key in each entity. Identify attributes. Name the information details which are essential to the file to the system under development. Map attribute. For each attribute, match it with exactly one entity that is described. Draw fully attribute ERD. Adjust the ERD from step 6 to account for entities or relationship discarding. Step 8. Check results. A simple example. A company has several departments. Each department has a supervisor and at least one employee. Employee must be assigned to at least one, but possibly more departments. At least one employee is assigned. As you can see in this figure, identify entity, find relationship, draw rough ERD department run by supervisor is assigned with employee run by sorry for mistake here, works on project. Entity relationship diagram rough. Fill in characteristic. From the description of the problem, we see that each department has exactly one supervisor. A supervisor in charge of one and only one department. Each department is assigned at least one employee. Each employee works for at least one department. Each project has at least one employee working on it. An employee is assigned to 0 or more projects. As you can see in next presentation, as you can see, department, supervisor, employee, and works on a project. Define primary key. The primary key is department name, supervisor name, employee number, project number. Draw key based ERD. There are too many relationships in rough ERD above between department and employee and between employee and project, as you can see. Thus, we need the associative entity department, employee, and employee project. The primary key for department employee is the connected key department name and employee number. The primary key for employee project is the concatenated key employee number and project number. As you can see next presentation, as you can see, department key data, department name, primary key run by supervisor is assigned employee department key data, department name, employee number, and involves employee number, works on project and employee project, as you can see in this figure. Identify attribute. The only attributes indicated are the names of the departments, project, supervisor and employees, as well as the supervisor and employee number and a unique project number. Attributes: department name, employee number, employee name, and entity department. Attribute: supervisor number, entity supervisor, as you can see in this figure. Thank you for viewing this video, guys. I hope you will understand. If I do any mistake, kindly comment in comment section box. I will improve my video.